Ladies and gentlemen, today we reflect on one of the most remarkable aircraft to ever serve the United States Air Force, an aircraft that redefined what it meant to strike deep into enemy territory with speed, precision, and survivability. I am talking about the General Dynamics F-111 Aardvark, a machine that earned the reputation of being the nightmare of anti-air defenses around the globe. When the F-111 was first introduced in the 1960s, it represented a leap forward in aviation technology. Designed during the Cold War, when the United States needed an aircraft that could outpace radar systems, avoid enemy fighters, and deliver devastating firepower, the Aardvark became the perfect blend of speed, innovation, and brute strength. It was not just another aircraft, it was a new concept in tactical and strategic strike capability. The first thing that set the F-111 apart was its variable sweep wings. This revolutionary feature allowed the aircraft to change the angle of its wings mid-flight. For takeoff and landing, the wings could extend outward for stability and lift. But once it was in the air and needed to accelerate, the wings would sweep back to a sharp angle, turning the F-111 into a supersonic dart capable of flying at Mach 2.5. This made it an incredibly versatile platform, able to fly low and slow when necessary, and then sprint at blistering speeds to outpace enemy interceptors or surface-to-air missiles. Equally impressive was its ability to fly at extremely low altitudes while maintaining supersonic speed. The F-111 pioneered terrain-following radar, an advanced system that allowed it to literally hug the ground, following valleys, hills, and ridges automatically without pilot input. Flying low meant avoiding radar detection and sneaking under the coverage of enemy air defense networks. At night or in bad weather, this capability made the Aardvark nearly unstoppable. For enemy anti-aircraft batteries, it was like trying to shoot down a ghost. Another strength of the F-111 was its enormous payload capacity. This aircraft could carry up to 31,500 pounds of ordnance, including precision-guided bombs, nuclear weapons, and long-range cruise missiles. It had the ability to strike both tactical targets on the battlefield and strategic ones deep inside hostile territory. No matter the mission, whether it was hitting a bridge, a bunker, an airfield, or even a heavily defended command center, the Aardvark could do it with devastating effect. One of the most famous examples of its use came in 1986 during Operation El Dorado Canyon, when the United States launched an airstrike against Libya in response to state-sponsored terrorism. F-111Fs flew from bases in the United Kingdom, crossing multiple European nations, refueling in the air, and striking high-value targets in Tripoli and Benghazi. Despite the Libyan air defense network being one of the densest in the world at the time, the F-111s punched through, destroyed their targets, and returned. That operation demonstrated the long reach and the survivability of this aircraft. For countries with sophisticated air defense systems, the message was clear: even the strongest radar and missile shields could be penetrated. Beyond its combat record, the Aardvark also played a crucial role as a deterrent during the Cold War. Its ability to deliver nuclear payloads deep into enemy territory meant that the Soviet Union had to account for it in their defense planning. In many ways, the F-111 was as much a psychological weapon as it was a physical one. Knowing that an aircraft could fly undetected at low level, avoid interception, and deliver a precise and catastrophic strike gave the United States an edge in strategic deterrence. Critics often pointed out that the F-111 had a troubled beginning. Early in its career, it faced mechanical problems, accidents, and questions about its cost. But over time, upgrades, improvements, and combat experience turned it into one of the most feared strike aircraft in the world. Pilots who flew it respected its speed, its range, and its survivability. For enemies who tried to defend against it, the F-111 was almost impossible to stop. Another aspect that cannot be overlooked is its longevity. The F-111 served for more than 3 decades, evolving with new avionics, better weapons, and more reliable engines. While other aircraft came and went, the Aardvark remained relevant, a testament to its groundbreaking design. It became the backbone of long-range strike operations until newer stealth aircraft like the F-117 and the B-2 took over its role in the 1990s. Yet, even when compared to stealth technology, the F-111 remained special. It did not need to be invisible. It relied on speed, low-level penetration, and sheer firepower to accomplish its mission. Its presence forced adversaries to rethink how to defend themselves. Soviet planners, Middle Eastern defense operators, and others all struggled with one question: how do you stop an aircraft that flies too fast, too low, and hits too hard? The legacy of the F-111 is one of dominance. It was not the flashiest aircraft, nor the most glamorous, but it was highly effective. Its design influenced future generations of strike aircraft and proved that innovation could tilt the balance of power in aerial warfare. In the end, the F-111 Aardvark was more than just a plane. It was a nightmare for anti-aircraft defenses, a symbol of American airpower, and a machine that carved its place in history by doing what it was built to do: fly low, strike hard, and return home. That is why, decades after its retirement, the name, Aardvark, still commands respect. For the enemies it faced, it was a shadow in the night sky, a predator that appeared without warning, and a reminder that American airpower could never be underestimated.